ChatGPT has been a hot topic over the last couple of months. We've seen people use to optimize their business, use to create digital products. It's passed medical exams, bar exams, and more recently, it passed Google's Level 3 interview process. And that got me thinking, if it's able to pass Google's Level 3 interview process, it should definitely be able to do a lot more regarding stuff like that. For instance, the tech industry is very hot right now. Everyone wants to join the tech industry for the high salaries, the benefits, but they don't know where to start and they have no idea what information is right or wrong. So they gave me an idea. What if ChatGPT could create a study plan for an individual that wants to join the tech industry? And because my specialty is in cybersecurity, I'm going to ask ChatGPT if it can create me a study plan to get a cybersecurity analyst job. So that's what today's video is going to be about. So let's dive right into it. So as you guys can see, I've already kind of practiced with it, so I kind of already know what it's going to do. But let's start off with something simple. What skills are needed to become a cybersecurity analyst? Let's see. To become a cybersecurity analyst, one needs to have the following skills: technical knowledge, strong understanding of network security, computer systems, and programming language essential for cybersecurity analysts. Analytical skills, communication skills, problem-solving skills. So as we can see right now, it's giving like a really high overview of the skill sets that you need. So it's not being very specific on what domains you need to study or anything like that. It's kind of touching more so soft skills versus technical skills. It briefly touches on the technical skills, but it doesn't go as deep as I would like it. So I'm going to ask it for something more specific. What technical skills are needed to become a cybersecurity analyst? Okay, let's see what that says. Okay, here we go. As a cybersecurity analyst, it is important to have a strong foundation in several technical areas, including network security, operating systems, programming, databases. Okay, so I've always told people cybersecurity is essentially not an entry-level position just because it requires you to have knowledge between multiple domains in technology or in tech. For instance, and cybersecurity, you need to know network security because you need to understand how networking protocols and IP addresses communicate with each other. Operating systems, aka sysadmin, you need to know Linux because nowadays most servers that you're going to be dealing with are Linux based, and with the cloud and everything, all that is essentially Linux based. So it's very important that you need to know Linux. Programming isn't really needed as an entry-level cybersecurity analyst position, but it definitely will help you as you go on in your career as a security engineer. So I would say Python isn't a necessity right now, but it is good to go ahead to try to learn it. Learn from my mistakes. I was one of those individuals that always say, I don't need to know how to program, but here I am every day coding and scripting. So yes, databases. At the cybersecurity analyst position, you don't need to know too much about databases because you're not going to be dealing with them. At least from the position that I held as analyst, I never had to deal with databases at all. Cryptography, it's nice to know. Penetration testing, this is pretty good because this is essentially how I ended up learning security as a whole. I was doing CTFs, essentially pen testing and all those things, so I can understand how to attack and defend certain applications and certain systems. So this is not all the way wrong, but just don't go too deep into it. I would say learn it at a fundamental level. SIM, Security Information Event Management. This is going to be your bread and butter as a cybersecurity analyst. As a cybersecurity analyst, this is what you're going to be in 90% of the time. This is where all the alerts, investigations, all that is where all of this is going to happen. And you have to be very good at searching through data, querying through data. Most of the time, I've seen people use Splunk, QRadar, Centennial. So there's a ton of different SIEMs that you can use, but overall, this is good. Virtualization, you don't really need to know that as much because now people are using cloud. So, you have EC2 instance, and I'm not going to go too deep into that. This is just, if you are interested in that, then I'll make a video regarding that next time. Cloud security, I definitely would say this is very important because just about every company that you're going to be dealing with nowadays, at least startups and new age tech companies, are going to be SaaS based. So they're probably going to have some type of cloud or hybrid type infrastructure. So now that we've established that it is giving you the domains that you need to learn, let's try to ask it to create a study plan for these topics. Can you create a study plan for this? Okay, you don't really need to take an introductory course in computer science. I mean, it would help if you took a programming language such as Python. So they're not wrong there, but that's kind of later on in your career. Network security, very important. Operating systems, important, more so Linux. It's sad to say, but throughout my 7 years of being in this industry, I have never had to touch a Windows box, which is kind of scary when you think about it, because my Windows skills aren't all the way there. I'm more of like a Linux guy. I love Linux and Unix systems. So yeah, if I would recommend anything, I would definitely say Linux. Learn Linux before Windows. Database security, you don't really need to know that. Cryptography, you only need the fundamentals. Penetration testing. Okay, so it basically kind of like gave me back the same thing that it gave me previously. So let's try to get it a little bit of structure here. So I'm going to say 90 days. Let me get a 90-day plan. Can you convert, make this into a 90-day study plan? Let's see what this does. Week 1. Take an introductory course in computer science or programming language such as Python. Honestly, I would probably learn network security first, just so you can get like the forefront and the basics of cybersecurity. But overall, like that's not wrong. Database security, I would say learn it, just the fundamentals, but it's not really something you have to worry yourself about, at least not as a cybersecurity analyst. Maybe as a security engineer. Cryptography, again, I say just learn the basics of it. You don't need to go too in depth with it because you're not going to really touch it as much. You're not going to be a cryptographer. This definitely looks like this is more than 90 days because there's 90 days is 3 months. That's 12 weeks. And this is on like week 17 to 18. So, okay, malware analysis. You don't really need to know how to do that as a cybersecurity analyst. Depending on where you're working, some companies and their security analysts are like crazy good, so they might require that, so that might be interesting. So with me looking at everything, I would say network security, Python, but Python isn't really a necessity right now. So operating systems, aka sysadmin. So I would say learn Linux administration. Database isn't really too serious right now as a security analyst. As a security engineer, you may need to know this. Well, you're going to need to know this as a security engineer. Cryptography, you just need to know the basics. Penetration testing. Penetration testing is it's a really good thing to do. And it kind of builds on all of these things that you're learning right here. With penetration testing, it's going to teach you how to like attack as well as defend. So it gives you like an overall surface level of how to do both. So once you learn how to attack something, then you get an idea of how to actually defend it. So that's pretty good with that. The SIEM, the Security Information Event Management, this is very important. I definitely say behind network security, this is probably going to be very important as well too. Depending on what company you're going to and what SIEM they're using, it can definitely vary on which one you could learn. I would suggest learning Splunk because a lot of people use Splunk, and Splunk in itself is a skill that you don't necessarily have to be in cybersecurity to use it for. I've seen other companies use it for different type of things. So if you learn Splunk by itself, you're in there. You're pretty good. You can make money just by learning Splunk. I believe the average salary for like a Splunk admin is like 130 grand. Okay, so overall, it kind of gave me back the same information that it gave me earlier, but like in chunks of weeks. So, and it also did give me in resources. So at this point, it's just saying, hey, go learn all of these things. But if you're someone that's just trying to get into this industry and you go in and you try to Google all this information, you're probably going to have information overload, and you're probably going to end back at square one of trying to figure out what it is. Because I can say when you're trying to learn something new, especially within the tech industry, there's so much information out there that you get information overload and you just kind of give up because there's so many different things that you can choose from. So I'm going to be a little bit more specific and ask it if it can give us some resources or a link to study this information. So let's see what it does. Can you give me links and resources for this study plan? Okay, what happened? Okay, let's re-ask this question again. Okay, here we go. This is pretty interesting. Okay, so networking fundamentals by Cisco. I would kind of stay away from learning Cisco specific networking because Cisco has its own ecosystem of networking. If you're not trying to work primarily with Cisco products, I would avoid that. I would look for something more generic regarding network fundamentals. FYI. So operating systems and Red Hat System Certified Administrator. I wouldn't really tell you to go get the RHCSA just because most systems that you're probably going to be touching is going to be Ubuntu. So I would say probably study for the CompTIA Linux Plus, but don't actually take the certification. The certification is the waste of money. The skill set, not so much. Linux is one of those skill sets where you're supposed to know it, so you don't get any brownie points for having like a Linux Plus certification. Man, I'm not gonna lie, like they're actually giving some really great resources, but keep in mind a lot of this stuff that they are giving you are books, and we all know like it's the year 2023. No one really wants to read books. So we're going to ask it if it can give us videos. Can you give me online? No, we're gonna actually make it free as well. So we only want free resources. We only want we only want resources that's online and free. Can you give me free online resources that uses videos? So it kind of went back off because Sans is not free or cheap. Security tube. I've never heard of that. Open. Udemy. Udemy has a lot of stuff. It's cheap. YouTube. Okay, yeah. So this didn't really give a good, representation of what I was looking for. Overall, this right here, though, this is pretty good. I know like some of the stuff is free, some is not. I'm not sure if EDX. Let's see. That might be free. Oh no, it looks like it is free. I never really used this for anything. So no, it looks like it is possibly free. So yeah, from the looks of it, ChatGPT actually can create a free study plan for individuals that want to get in cybersecurity. And with me doing this specifically for cybersecurity, I'm pretty sure that this can also create plans for project managers, product managers, software engineers, UX UI designers, the whole 9 yards. So if you are interested in joining the tech industry and you don't know where to start, before you spend any money on any courses or any coaching or anything like that, I would say take advantage of ChatGPT, see what you can do, and after you've done your research and it's gave you the information that you wanted to see, ask around with people and say, hey, like, is this something that you feel like is worth learning? I'm pretty sure most people will be more than willing to answer that question. Because me personally, if someone came to me and say, hey, I created a study plan and ChatGPT, this is everything that it's telling me to do. Do you think this is accurate, or do you think I should add something or remove something? I'll be more than happy to help them, because it's showing me that you're at least trying to figure out something to start your career. So that's it for today. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and see you next time.